Time is the one thing in this world that no one can get more of. That's why it's the most valuable resource that any of us has. So, how do you make the most of it? We're not going to talk about time management tricks or productivity hacks so that you can somehow trick yourself into working every waking hour. Instead, I want to talk about how to approach your time so that you never feel like you've wasted a single hour of it. Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today, I want to talk about being intentional with our time. So first, a story. In a time long, long ago, before the age of pandemics and murder hornets, there was a fisherman and a businessman. The fisherman was on a dock and he was relaxing in the sun, just very casually fishing. And this businessman walks up to him and he asks, "Fisherman, why aren't you working harder? If you catch more fish, you can probably sell that, make a profit, and buy yourself a boat so that you can catch even more fish." And then the fisherman, he just listens to him and he responds, "But why? Why would I do that?" It's like, well, if you have a boat, you can catch more fish, and then you can probably catch enough fish that you can hire another fisherman so that they can catch fish for you as well. And the fisherman goes, "Well, but why would I do that?" And the businessman goes, "Don't you get it? If you get a boat and you get more people to fish for you, that means you don't have to work and you can continue to build up an entire empire of fisheries and you can fish all around the world." The fisherman goes, "But why would I do that?" The businessman goes, "Well, don't you get it? If you have an entire empire of fishermen, then you never have to fish again and you'll make just crazy amounts of money, and then you can live the rest of your life carefree." And then the fisherman just looks at him and he goes, "Carefree? Isn't that what I'm doing right now?" So this is why I don't really want to focus on time management. The moral of the story is that while you can be like the businessman and work really, really hard, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're spending the time on the right things, on the things that are important. So how do you know what things are important? Well, the first step is to build awareness. Take a moment and think back at your day or maybe your week and think, what have you been spending your time this week doing? What little things, what big things have you been putting time to? How many of those things make you genuinely happy? How many of those things didn't? If you like meditation, this is actually an excellent topic to kind of devote some of your time meditating towards. Think about how much time you spent on others, on yourself. Did you spend any time exercising? Did you spend any time developing yourself, your skills? Or maybe you spent a lot of time relaxing. And be honest with this one, maybe did you spend a little too much time relaxing? Or how about this one? Maybe you spent some time just being unsure of what to do next. Or maybe it was in a state of anxiety, not quite sure where to go from here or what to do. Perhaps most upsetting though, were there things that you didn't get to spend time doing that you really wanted to. I encourage you to take some time and write these things down so that you can visualize it and also visualize their importance to you. Once you have an understanding of what you do spend your time on, now what? What next? Now it's time to prioritize. Charles Buxton has a great quote for this. "You will never find time for anything. If you want time, you must make time." By prioritizing, we are consciously making time and also cutting out some waste. And I've got a tool to help. There's a handy little chart that I like to use anytime I'm trying to figure out what to prioritize. The chart is pretty simple to use. There's only two things you need to think about: importance and urgency. So for any item, you can just think about it. Is this important? Is this urgent? If it's important and it's urgent, then you should absolutely do those. There's usually very few of those things. If it's important but not urgent, then you should schedule it. Make time for it. Make sure that you put that on a calendar or write it down on a notepad, something to remind you, you gotta do this at some point. If things aren't important, but they're urgent, find a way to delegate it. or find a way to get it done, just in a more creative way. For example, see if you can ask a friend to help you out and take care of that task for you. See if you can find a tool that'll take care of that problem for you so that you don't have to do it yourself. Just remember to also be nice if you're delegating. Make sure to return the favor at some point. The last one, that's my absolute favorite. If it's unimportant and it's not urgent, just don't do it at all. So this chart is a nice tool to help you kind of figure out what tasks you should make time for and which ones that you should just put aside or not do at all. But I want to offer you another piece of advice. If you're like most people, your mood will probably impact how you feel about certain things, certain people in your life. Use a time of the week or day that you're feeling very relaxed and calm, and use that time to write down, commit to the things that you're going to spend your time on. That's how you be intentional with your time, using those moments of clarity and of calmness to really decide ahead what you're going to spend your time on. So if that's being intentional with our time, what are a couple of examples of things that are important? Well, there's your family, your close friends, maybe your significant other. Honestly, those things are important and they do deserve your time. But above all of that is you, your health, your passions, your skills. You deserve time. Life fills our minds with so many distractions that oftentimes it's easy to forget about those things, about yourself. Everyone deserves to live their best life, and you're not going to get there if you don't devote significant time to your health, your passions, your skills. So that's really the message today. I want to challenge you. Decide right now for the coming days, what are you going to devote your time to? Make sure you're somewhere in there. In this crazy world, we'll never find time for ourselves. You have to make it. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm also live on Twitch where I talk with real people like you about this subject and more. You can find my schedule and social links down in the description below. I invite you to join the conversation, and I'll see you guys next time.